My new restaurant in Covent Garden is something that I really wanted for a long time. It has a deli, and this will allow me to showcase the regional foods of India. It's really all about railway foods, railway journeys, very nostalgic. It's about the food I ate as a child when I did these 2 days, 1 night journeys with my parents across the whole breadth of India. So it's all these regional foods. We have takeaway lunch, which will be a rolling menu, so it'll keep changing. Again, all very regional food from my family, but also from regions that I loved. That when we went through the train journey, you waited to reach that place to have that particular dish. So it's a lot of it. It's about childhood memories, and we have a beautiful restaurant which is going to have a tasting menu initially. Once we get over this pandemic time. So we're just going to have tasting menus, including a biryani tasting menu, a vegan tasting menu, and a tasting menu where the journey is from Calcutta to Darjeeling, so up the entire plains of India. I've been trying to move from Carnaby for quite a while. This became because it was impossible after Netflix. We had 200 covers a day. The kitchen was too small. We couldn't store stuff. There was no space. Counter space was very little. We needed more people, but there was nowhere we could fit people in. It was just packed. But somehow landlords were unwilling to risk giving me a very big site, which is surprising. But this is to do with prejudice, because I didn't come with a lot of money, I didn't come with an investor, I didn't come with consultants. And despite the track record and having proven track records that I could show how much tax I paid, landlords were, including Kingly Court, where I would have been happy just to have had another unit, were unwilling to actually give me any new space. I ended up coming out of this, pivoting out of it, by getting this amazing site where someone who looks like me, who sounds like me, who has an all-female kitchen, our shadow would not have crossed this place. Covent Garden is this very rarefied, very European style cuisine place. I hesitate to say it this way, but everybody the owners would look the same. They belong to this elite club, of which I am not a member, nor do I want to be one. But I am the outsider. I am the ultimate outsider. And to get that place, I walked in and I realized that, I'm following the footsteps of an amazing man, a larger than life figure. This is Carluccio's flagship restaurant. And it says a lot about how the industry is changing post-pandemic, where a place like that is being taken over by someone like me. One of the things that I'm very happy about having this restaurant is that it gives me the space. The deli closes at 6. We're going to have a mentoring school in that space. It is something that I realized over time, that change in hospitality cannot come from the bottom up. Because there is diversity in kitchens. You will always have, invariably, a black kitchen porter. You will have people of different backgrounds. So there is, but there's 1 or 2 token, sometimes women, in the kitchens. But the power remains in the hands of men. So I realized one thing: we need to actually change the entire way that hospitality is structured and bring in women in positions of power. And this is what the mentoring school is going to do. It's going to train women not necessarily to how to run a restaurant or what to do with the kitchen front. I want to teach women how to lead. So one of the things that I have decided to do at Covent Garden is to have a tasting menu at £95. That's just the food. And of course, you can do the wine pairing as well. And this is the most expensive Indian tasting menu in this country, probably in the West as well. And that's really important for me, because I realized one thing. In my time, 3 years as a restaurateur, very often there's a prejudice that our food is cheap and cheerful. That Indian food, is a quick curry that you have, and we are more than just a quick curry. It's a very ancient cuisine. There's a lot of layers in our cuisine. There's a lot of history and heritage and techniques in the way that we cook. But somehow this has not been explained properly. And people just think that, they're happy to pay £95 for a tasting menu for French, Italian, Spanish, maybe Japanese. But they, would hesitate to think, why is an Indian tasting menu at that price? It is at that price because it deserves to be at that price. And I say this with no arrogance. I say this as treat me equally. Treat people who create my cuisine, who cook my cuisine equally to others. Our time has come. And coming to a place like Covent Garden, I thought the first thing when I walked in, I thought I'm going to have this tasting menu. And I'm going to have biryani in that tasting menu. I want to take people on that journey. I want to hold their hand and introduce them to my country. And I don't mean my country as in India, an undivided India. The food of Pakistan, the food of Bangladesh, the India that was the 1930s. My food is 1930s. I take you back to a region before the British came in and drew lines. Our tasting menu is, you have a substantial combination, a roti or a naan or rice with a dish. It is the way that we eat at home. If you go to any big dawat or a feast in India, there are at least 20 dishes on the table. You eat each dish individually in combinations. I'm going to combine those dishes and give them to you as a taster. So I want you to feel as if you're on my table in my mother's house. I've had each plate made to kind of reflect old Mughal jewelry. It's being made by hand. So even the plate is part of the story. So it's starting with the plate and then of course the food. And I hope that people will enjoy this because it is literally going to be a journey. Pretty much, like the railway menu in the Delhi. The tasting menu is a journey. You will feel that you've understood India, that you've understood me, you've understood my people more. That is why I'm doing a tasting menu. By opening this restaurant, I'm very confident that we will be, successful, and I'm very confident that people will come to the Delhi, and if it becomes very tough, we will start doing delivery. I know I'm lucky. I'm just lucky. It was my kismat to be successful, to have made it. So I feel very humble. I don't see this as my right, that I made it because I'm so good or that my team was so good. We made it because it was our destiny.